Hey, fellow babies, and welcome to what is our American cousins' Independence Day. It's 4th of July here on the channel. We're, acknowledging it. I mean, as you can see, it's not really my thing, but I hope it's not their last true Independence Day with, election run-ups and stuff. So remember, anybody's better than Donald Trump. Just make sure you vote, and it doesn't start with Donald when
Unless
you put your
Donald
check marks in. Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah,
I would vote
he'll
for
be fine.
Donald Duck, right?
Yeah.
Him beating on Daffy and having little fights and stuff. That'd be cool, right? Have a little...
Bringing Dewey and Louie in.
We'll do a crossover, right? Warner versus Disney. Round one. Fight!
Yes, and on such a day, a special day for the Americans. This is a special day for the UK too, because it's the general election today, and goodness knows what's going to happen. He says knowingly what's going to happen, but it's going to be an interesting day. That's not going to happen. The counts aren't going to come in until later, so there won't be any news on that. But who cares? But also tonight we also have like a man in a hole. We have some cheese news and places where you shouldn't and should not piss. There's a missing sword, but we're going to go to the UK vote. Nick's going to talk a little bit about that. He's going to talk a little about Ukraine and Netflix. But first of all, he's going to kick off with news from the Supreme Court. Go for it, Mr. Dawson.
Indeed. So I could have predicted this, but a leading House Democrat is preparing a constitutional amendment in response to the Supreme Court's landmark immunity ruling over this fucking guy. They're seeking to reverse the decision and ensure that no president is above the law. This had to be the opening on 4th of July, didn't it? Rep. Joseph Morell of New York, top Democrat on the House Administration Committee, sent a letter to colleagues informing them of his intent to file a resolution which would kickstart what traditionally is a very cumbersome amendment process. This amendment will do what SCOTUS failed to do: prioritize our democracy. I couldn't agree more. In referring to Donald Trump, Morell said the former president must be held accountable for his decisions. I urge my colleagues to support my amendment and stand with me on the front line to protect our democracy. It's the most significant legislative response yet to the decision this week from the court's conservative majority, which stunned Washington and drew a sharp dissent from the court's liberal justices. 3 of them, remember? Warning of the perils to democracy, particularly as Trump's seeking a return to the White House. Still, this is going to be a hard-fought road. Very hard, right? So, Trump and his allies were all partying over this stuff, right? But what happened is, with the judge postponing sentencing because of this, the odds of this getting resolved before the election are almost nil. And I mean, you want to know what the guy's going to have to deal with before. Imagine if the president's on fucking probation. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. So I really support the idea of an amendment, because once you get an amendment into the Constitution down in the good old US of A, it's pretty much impossible to screw with it, because it's all 3/4 ratified by the states, Congress, Senate, and whatnot, right? He was going on to say here, this amendment will guarantee that no public officer of the United States, including the president, is able to evade the accountability that any other American would face for violating our laws. How do you argue against that?
I mean, what does this mean with all the cases coming up against him? I mean, is he at this point where he can just literally just throw them out because of this, Well,
immunity? There still is a question of official duties, but the way the Supreme Court worded it is so vague that it's going to be lengthy legal challenges just to decide what wording is legal, because of, it's semantics. It's going to be a nightmare. It's disappointing as hell. I don't think anybody, does anybody remember they named a salad after a Caesar? Right?
But yeah, they didn't make cunt salad, did they?
Exactly. So I mean, like, are we gonna have to knife this guy in the back to get him out of office eventually?
Oh, that'd be nice. Yes, please. I'll go for that.
Yeah. So I really like the idea that there's already some, never mind legal challenges. The people are going right to the Constitution. Good on you. Good on you. I couldn't agree more.
I think when they get the Constitution changed, you should be allowed to actually go up to your ex-presidents and kick him directly in the nuts.
Oh, and they should have to like just slightly spread and wince to take it. Like,
That's what I would call a Constitution.
I like that.
Yeah. Make the amendment. Make it happen.
Yeah. And in speaking of weapons and whatnot, this is crazy one you got here, man. Wow.
Well, I didn't even know about this, but apparently an ancient French sword has mysteriously vanished after 1,300 years wedged inside a rock 32 feet off the ground. How the hell... the Durandal, which is France's version of King Arthur's legendary Excalibur. That's what I mean. I didn't even know there was another one. But it was reported missing from the clifftop village of Rocamadour on Monday. It belonged to Roland, a famous knight in French literature, who was said to own the indestructible sword, which had become an iconic part of the area. Police are treating it as theft. He stole the sword.
Yeah.
And have launched an investigation, but are said to be bemused how it could have been stolen.
Strange women laying about in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government.
I mean, it's been there for 1,300 years.
Maybe some moistened bent stole it.
The small medieval sword, fabled to be capable of cutting through giant boulders with a single strike, well, he was stuck in a stone, was previously lodged into the wall and secured with a metal chain. Yeah, that will help it. A bit of security there. It was left... It has left the village reeling at the loss of such a historic landmark, which has been its main tourist attraction, according to the mayor of the commune, Demique L'Enfant. Yeah, a bit of rusty metal and a rock. Here you go, there's a tourist attraction for you. Brilliant.
Yeah. Hey, you drink enough good wine, and I guess that does. It's between two tasting rooms. That's why it's a tourist attraction, right?
Just a bit of metal stuck in a slit. Rocamadour feels stripped of a part of itself. He told Le Depeche, I guess.
Grammar much?
I'm sure he's not talking to Depeche Mode. Even if it is a legend, the destinies of our village and this sword are linked. We will miss Durandal. It has been part of Rocamadour for centuries. I'm going to keep doing that. And there is not a single guide who does not show it during their visit. Of course they show it. It's the only thing they've got.
Your French is amazing.
Have you seen our bit of rusty metal in a slit? Come and have a look. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but the story goes on.
It'll give people visions of their divorce all over again.
So if you are on the lookout for it, if you find a bit of rusty metal, it measures 80 centimeters. So it's a small medieval sword that was forged to stun people or horses, not kill them.
I think it was Frodo's. That's why it's short, right?
80 centimeters. I'm pretty sure you can still kill people or horses with an 80 centimeter sword.
Sure.
Maybe not that one because it's a bit rusty. Go on.
Okay, so you said we didn't have anything to say about it, but unfortunately you are incorrect. So this is the dude that's looking to be the new prime minister over in Britain. Yes. And I was reading in a thing, although for some reason I didn't bring it up because that would be convenient, that he was actually somewhat mentored in politicking by none other than Yes We Can, Barack Obama.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I forgot to bring that article up because it's probably not as interesting if I read it properly anyway. But So what's going on today during the election is some company that annoys people greatly was doing an exit poll. So you go in to vote in the British election, and then on your way out, they have a little fake ballot thing to do a poll to see what you did, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I voted for the person I didn't vote for just to be a dick about it, right?
Yeah. People often lie.
I'm sure. But the polling was released moments after the voting closed, and it predicts this cat here and what's his name? Starmer will not
Sir Keir Starmer to you. Thank you very much.
The whole Sir thing don't mean shit to me. I'm Canadian. Don't care, right? Except Mrs. Elton John.
It does mean he's lost a rusty sword somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe she's the. No, I won't do it. But it looks like they're going to have like what they're calling a super majority. And okay, so like the Labor, this is the Labor dude, right? And Labor are more left leaning, are they not?
That's right.
So I am more left leaning, but a super majority, I'm just not sure that the checks and balances of the political nature of the beast. I think the checks and balances get missed a bit too much if it's a super majority, right? I'm not sure that's actually a good thing.
We haven't seen it for a very, very long time. It has happened before, but maybe not quite as bad as this. We don't know yet. We'll see how it turns out. Yeah,
got to give PJ CNET in the chat there credit for alerting me to the whole idea of the super majority and whatnot. Yeah. I mean, I get the concept, but I didn't know what was going to happen.
He'll teach you all about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear more, email pjcnet@gmail.com, and he'll love to chat to you for hours and hours and hours about it.
Yeah.
Is that right, PJ?
Yeah. / drunk in the corner of the Shills layer hangout, right? You'll find it.
Hashtag leave me alone.
Yeah. Hashtag send me $20 to help me care for a sick cat. Yeah, he saved that cat, man. All the power to him, right?
He's good at saving pussy.
Nobody knows what we're talking about. We better move on.
No, let's move on.
That's getting cheesy.
Oh, that's cheesy. Oh, is that another? Yeah, you can see you get a sword in that crack, couldn't you? But no, a German police officer who was fired for stealing cheddar cheese from an overturned truck while attending a traffic accident has lost his appeal.
That's not stealing. That's cleaning up a mess.
Yeah, but then eating it.
Yeah.
In his defense, he denied nibbling on or any of the cheddar. The police officer who had been called to secure the scene instead drove up to the side of the truck, ordered a rescue worker to hand him nine 20-kilogram packages of cheese, which were worth around about €500 in total. He took some of the parcels to his office, but the final whereabouts of the other parcels could not be conclusively certified. He's eaten the evidence.
Yeah, but in his defense, he said, no, I'm not eating it. I drill a hole in the center and use them as cock rings. So
I just play Big Pac-Man with them. It was assumed that the police officer had kept 4 parcels for himself or his friends and relatives. The police officer, who said he did not even like cheddar, well, he's French. No, sorry, he's German. That's even worse. Had appealed against this dismissal.
Said German?
Said the cheese had been worth practically nothing as it had not been kept chilled and would have gone to waste. Yeah. Just leave him alone. Let him eat the cheese.
He's one step away from eating roadkill, for God's sakes. Who cares? Jesus Christ.
Yes, good point.
If you saw him scraping up a badger that had been run over, you wouldn't care.
Well, it is Germany. We don't know.
So, out with the old and in with the dog turd that's stuck on the sole of your shoe. China and Russia highlight tectonic shifts in global politics and blah, blah, yada, yada. Give me a second. I'll rifle this one quick so we can get on to the next one. Comments come at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. That's the SCO from now on, because I'm not tripping over that shit for 3 minutes. A regional bloc that Moscow and Beijing see as a counterweight to the U.S., as they see it, of the world, right? I mean, it's not, but, if the U.S. was doing this with the world, my money wouldn't be worth peanuts, so just never mind. The presidents of China and Russia urged their allies to resist external influence, saying the global centers of power are changing and a multipolar world is on the horizon. Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Chinese counterpart were in Kazakhstan, capital of Astana, on Thursday for some gathering of the Legion of Doom and whatnot, basically, right? The hegemony of the U.S. and it's just so we've got to scare people into hating the ones that we do. So Bing called on the countries to resist external interference, while Putler said new centers of political and economic might are on. I'm not reading this fucking shit anymore. I don't even like that. Why did I pick, get the fuck off my screen. Both of you, just get out the lube and get it over with already, lovebirds.
Yeah, this is what you get for getting the hard-hitting stories here, Dick. You got to face it like a man.
Yeah, but now I'm going to have to drag out a few other ones because that should have taken longer, right? So, But fuck you, Putler, and fuck you, Bing! I'm just kind of done with you pricks right now. Piss off. What do you got next, Dunk? Fuck them.
Well, yes, talking about, doing the dirty deeds, Brits who partake in a cheeky wee in the sea may need to budget an extra £635 for their holidays in Marbella, where authorities are set to roll out new penalties as part of the Costa del Sol tourist cleanup drive. Councillors in the holiday hotspot in southern Spain have declared bathers will face fines of up to €750 if they are caught performing physiological evacuations.
Pissing in the pool.
Or on the beach. Yeah, pissing in the beach. I mean, look at that beach. Oh, my God. The measure, which has been approved in a plenary session and is now awaiting public scrutiny, formulates part of a wider legislation aimed at cracking down on the impact of tourism in the Spanish resort region. Can't you tell I haven't had time to read through these articles?
Now here, let me show you the impact. This is what they're talking about. Look at these two here flashing their bums on the beach. Now look at the guy on the right. If you're his size and you can cover your shit with one hand, your problems are just so much bigger than you know. Look, how could you be happy at that moment?
He has to use his whole hand? He's a monster. Where was it?
Let me get him off the screen. Okay, hold on. We'll go to this one. All right.
Yeah, it comes after lawmakers in Vigo, a city in the Galicia region, rolled out a similar rule 2 years ago. The fine will be doubled for each repeat offence, meaning the second penalty will be set at €1,500 and third up to 3,000. So if you get caught doing it, and then you get caught doing it again, and then you get caught doing it. What's going on here? But the move has been criticised and even ridiculed by locals, many of whom regularly partake in the practice themselves and say it is impossible to regulate and enforce.
Most dirty pricks! What the hell's wrong with you?
Most commentators agreed that urinating on sand is undesirable, seen as an offence and can be policed. But urinating in the sea is a different story. Who's going to find the culprits? The jellyfish? One incredulous interview said.
That's how do you police this? And I wouldn't doubt that the bathrooms that dot the beach just simply drain into the water anyway. So
yeah. You're going to have police in like snorkel gear, just like watching, swimming around. Just
Yeah,
watching.
don't piss in the lake. Well, unless you filter it through the porcelain bowl first.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Yeah. What do policemen be looking for? You can't see. I don't understand anything. Somebody said. Other outlets openly criticised the measure, declaring that weeing in the sea was one of the most widespread customs in our country. I mean, all the whales and dolphins do it too. I mean, come on.
But unlike them, we can get out of the water and walk to the bathroom. Can you imagine dolphins? Hold on, man. I just got to take a whiz.
Well, maybe they should. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, in swimming pools, sometimes they put like, special chemicals in it. So if you do a wee in the swimming pool,
yeah, it goes all, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are they going to do that in the oceans as well?
Surround the beach with boats that are just spraying that shit in. All right.
Why are all the fish dying? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't. How do you police that?
Yeah. Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
It's going to be an odd one. I'd like to see what comes out of that. They spend all this money to pass a law, and then in 5 years, nobody gets busted.
Yeah. We got to crack down on these people. We're not catching them.
Yeah. So, little Ukraine update here. The U.S. is soon to announce another $2.3 billion in a new security assistance for Ukraine. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was talking here. The latest weapons package will include arms such as anti-tank weapons, air defense, interceptors, and would allow accelerated procurement of NASAMS, the surface-to-air missile system, and Patriot air defense systems as well. Austin, when speaking, also gave a nod to Ukraine's aspirations to eventually join NATO, more than 2 years after Russia's full-scale invasion of a sovereign land. Referring to next week's NATO summit in Washington, Austin said that we will take steps to build a bridge to NATO membership for Ukraine. Take steps to build a bridge. That means we're finally willing to do tiny little token things that eventually will get them in. So it's just, searching for microphones and cameras. But the $2.3 billion in boom booms, I like very much. Let's see here. Where is it here? Separately, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken and the Ukrainian president's chief of staff, Yermak, on Tuesday discussed NATO members' intention to bring Ukraine closer to the alliance. State Department deputy spokesperson Patel was talking. So again, it's good talk, but the UN has all of this stuff about memberships and whatnot as it pertains to currently embattled in conflict. So, there's a lot of change within the group itself would have to occur before that's really going to happen. But, that's some of the shit that's been going on. Let's see here. Ukraine on Tuesday sentenced the separatist leader there, Leonid Pasachink, the breakaway Lushansk region asshole guy. Because he is, I don't know if everybody knows or not, but him and some other asshole, Pushlin, signed a mutual assistance pact with Putler, and a couple of days later, the pair then asked Putin for military help, and 3 days later, Moscow marched in, right? That's kind of how this all started off.
What a get.
Yeah, it's not like Russia wasn't already planning it. This was just some of the legitimacy of it, right? And then let's see, Air Force Commander Olschuk said on Tuesday the military had carried out destructive strikes on a Russian ammunition depot. We did get the news. But the quote I loved from this one was, once again, Ukrainian aircraft destroyed by enemy propaganda continue to successfully perform combat missions. That's throwing it in their face. I love that quote, right? And then in St. Petersburg, Korolev, the documentary filmmaker and activist, had his sentence doubled to the 7 years now. So he, in 2022, was accused of making untrue statements about massacres of civilians in the Ukrainian town of Bucha. And because he spoke out about the whole invasion of Ukraine right away. And now they're just simply upping his sentence because why the hell not? We're tyrants, and that's what we do, right? So little tidbits, news from Ukraine there. I do like the 2.3 billion. I urge all countries around the world to keep the B and billion in your mission of funding. And let's try to get these announcements a little bit quicker so that the flood is more continuous and not, a bit here, some there, and whatnot. Any one of you world leaders, go to, one of the more frontline Ukraine towns and live a week and tell me you want to see them get trickled weapons, right? Come on.
That's a challenge. That's a challenge to them.
Come on. I know people that do it, so don't throw it back at me, bitch, because I hear about it. I know.
Yeah, we'll hear about it. We'll shame you.
Yeah, my buddy died doing it, so never fucking mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So I'm off to another story here. A man has been rescued after spending 3 days stuck in a city sewer network.
Oh!
Yum, 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 yum. The man named as Antonio, also known as Mr. Smelly, entered the drainage system from a nearby river and decided to explore the tunnels, but found himself lost. Unable to return to where he entered, he eventually saw a distant light shining through a manhole cover on an overhead street. Local residents said they could hear faint sounds of a man in the area, but couldn't determine where it was coming from. He reportedly hollered for 3 days before a passing woman eventually heard his cries and was able to locate where he was. She immediately informed the authorities, and Antonio was safely lifted out the sewer. But everyone was had like masks on.
Oh.
The
firemen were there with hoses to hose him down,
Yeah, the rescue took place in the city of Leon, northwest of Mexico City, and Antonio was taken to a nearby hospital for medical assessment and a good scrubbing. There have been no further updates on his current health issues. But videos have been out on TikTok, gone viral, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Who cares? But somebody says the young man emerged into daylight. Hang on, that's a completely different story. But anyway, I was looking at this, and I was looking at that guy's face, and I was thinking, oh, hang on, I recognize him, because there's a YouTube channel called Ben and Zara, and it's got a man and there's a little girl. A little girl sits in the back of a car, just like they're in the mime songs. There he is. There's the. He said, oh, that looks a lot like him. That Zara in the back. It's a great YouTube channel, a lot of fun. If you've not seen it, but I saw that picture and I thought, oh, a little bit of Photoshoppy. So I did a little bit of Photoshoppy, and there I brought Daddy home to Zara. There he is.
Here, honey, here's your shit-stained father.
And now we're going to mime "Boom Boom Shake the Room" by Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh man, 3 days in a sewer. I mean, you'd have no sense of smell or taste for the rest of your life. It's not possible, right?
I mean, look at Zara there. She's going, keep him away
Get
from
this
me.
smelly human out of my car. Oh, that's some nasty stuff. So, speaking of nasty, though, I can follow that up. Because, yes, indeed, from hell cometh. We have Netflix up on the channel today, and they are going ahead with their plan to discontinue the cheapest ad-free subscription tier. It's gone. And the cheapest ad-free subscription tier put ads in the way YouTube does if you don't pay for premium or don't use an ad blocker. It's unbelievable, right? It's starting in the UK and Canada, with more countries inevitably to follow, right? So they've been notifying people with on-screen messages, and there's no choice. They're just getting rid of it. So let's see here. Where 1 second here. In the UK, users are being informed that the £7 and 99 per month basic plan is gone. So now you can go to standard, which has advertisements for $4.99, so it's cheaper, or pay $10.99 for the standard plan without ads. And they both will do 1080p, but the thing is, Netflix is really bad about this. If you don't use Netflix approved devices that they partner with, you get a lower bit rate than you do on other devices. It's the dirtiest pool ever. You get some awful quality if you just use a PC on your computer instead of a Fire Stick or something, right? You know, because they all share data and all that, right? So Canadians are getting screwed pretty good. So it's going from $9.99 to the basic ad filled plan. Imagine that. You're paying $10 a month for one channel. It's not like, it's going up to $16.49. And that's with ads. But then you can pay an extra that's without ads. And then you can drop it by $4 to go to ads. So it really is revving up in Canada. If you've never heard of it, there's a service called Plex. I love it and I live by it. And there's another thing called piracy. Look into torrents. You'll be fine.
Well,
Fuck these guys.
I have a brilliant idea. Why don't we set up a service so it's like you pay a subscription service, and then you basically they give you a catalogue of films you can watch, and they send them to you on DVD in a package.
Yeah.
And then when you finish watching it, you send it back.
Yeah. Never sell.
No. Oh, okay.
I tell you what, though, you know what we should do is we should start charging people a monthly fee to be on our no ads Plex server. And then we'll use that money to lobby the governments to make this kind of stuff just, piss off already.
Or we could just keep the money.
Oh, that's true, too. To, buy more hard drives to give you more content.
Yeah. More Ferraris.
Yeah. Everybody needs more Ferraris. Come on.
Hashtag more Ferraris for Dick.
Yeah.
I've got a fundraiser coming on Sunday, so
there you go. Everybody should run a V12 up through the revs once a day, right? So you going with the batteries or the chick?
Let's go with the batteries.
All right.
The world's largest energy storage facility using next generation sodium ion batteries has begun operations in China. Yeah, like Dick says, it just looks like a blooming, cargo containers. The 100,000 kilowatt project in the Hubei province is capable of storing enough electricity to power 1,200 homes on a single charge. God, can you imagine, hand cranking that? Charging up.
It's a lot of oxen spinning that thing around.
Just Chinese people just burning them. In the first phase of the massive Datang Hubei sodium ion new energy storage power station, which spans an area of 30 acres or roughly 15 football pitches or 10 billion bananas.
30 acres is a lot of land to power 1,200 homes.
It's probably enough space to put 1,200 homes in, isn't it?
Actually, a lot more if you're doing apartments, right?
Yeah. Actually, if you're looking at those boxes, I think those are front doors for apartments anyway. So
it's a dormitory for rice farming, right?
Yeah, you got little beds in there anyway. Just keep warm on top of the batteries. But sodium-ion batteries offer a number of benefits compared to the conventional lithium-ion batteries, as they are both cheaper and safer than batteries found in smartphones and electric cars. Well, if you say so. Blah blah blah. Sodium. Again, I haven't had a chance to read through this. While adoption remains relatively low, a series of technological breakthroughs in recent years have now made it possible for them to use in commercial settings on a massive scale.
Yeah, because it takes 30 acres to power 1,200 people. That is a massive scale. It's just...
Why don't they just put them underground and then put the 30 acres of houses on top? Wouldn't that be a good idea? I don't know.
Better use of space, right?
I'm not a civil engineer. What do I know?
Better. Maybe we should ask Bing
I'm just looking through something more interesting in this article than there isn't. So let's drop this bullshit. You move on to the next one. Go on.
Well, yeah,
You got 3 minutes.
I'm gonna skip ahead to one that I couldn't get to just because I only got a couple of minutes. So, image from the debate. I'm sure you all recognize it, right? There's conspiracy theorists out there that think Biden was hit with a directed energy weapon during the debate that induced Havana syndrome in him and made him do the whole dead face stare thing. Me, myself, I think he was shocked that nobody stepped in and said, Donald, stop telling us he's a monster and answer the fucking question, please. But, maybe that's just me. But yeah, like the people are convinced that he was hit with a directed energy weapon. I'm sorry, flat earthers, but that answer is incorrect.
No, I did hear he complained that he was like suffering from jet lag. Now, you got the two options there. What do you think is the most likely option that he didn't perform very well? A, was it jet lag? Or B, was it a focused energy weapon?
Yeah, the crocodile people weapon. Under the directive of the spaghetti monster god. It's just directed energy weapons that made him go, duh. It's just ridiculous.
Why didn't they direct it at, how do they know what to hit him and not Trump? That must be a very, very focused beam.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Good call. Unless somebody was right front stage with their little gun and they were like, oh, no, it's a vape.
You see that security services going, there's a man in the audience that seems to be pointing a gun at Biden. Leave it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, watch him. He knows Kung Fu. He'll get right out of the way. It's fine.
Dear God.
So, yeah, we got 50 seconds here on the clock. Let's just quickly go to the run-up to the election in the United States here. It's Independence Day. This is the day when Will Smith and the smart guy flew their ship up and all that stuff. You remember. It's in all the history books, right?
What's his name? Not Bill Paxton. What's the other one?
Chaos Theory, right? Yeah. They dusted off Data and brought him in. I was surprised he grew his hair.
Today we celebrate our Independence Day.
So remember, if an alien smells like shit, punch him in the face, because that way you can drag him through the desert easier. There's a moral to every story. You've just got to find it.
Yeah. Just keep digging.
We've got a member message there. This was a random username 2004. The exit polls suggest that Labour will win by 410 seats. Means nothing to me, but all you in the UK probably know what that means.
I thought they win by votes, not seats. What's going on here?
I don't get that either.
They've changed the system again.
What? I've got to change the scene. It's boom time. We'll see you tomorrow for a double shot and a big announcement, because we're starting our next NAFO 69 Sniffing Brigade fundraiser with the Portuguese Battalion. But
you just
we'll see you tomorrow for that. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No,
never mind. You made the announcement that you're going to make an announcement.
Yeah, let's go back in time.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
And a big thanks to the team who do all the work and hustle and bustle in the background. I even had one of them over here helping me install an air conditioner today. We got Annette, we got PJ CNET, Shayna Caldwell, Crazy Cat the Kraut, and Super Chat Matt. So thanks, everybody. We're grooving and doing it all smooth with your help.
And thank you, everybody, for all your channel memberships, your donations, your super chats, and all the lovely little things that help keep the channel ticking over, and it really helps things go. So don't forget to like the video on the way out. I'm going to press it right now. So ping, I've done it. You do the same. And don't forget to share us out. Share us out wherever you can. Go up to a French mountain and stick a sword in a bloody rock and say, oh, look, the Shills put that there. Oh, you did that. Oh, and then put it out. Oh, moisten bit. And all that kind of stuff. You can do the whole scene. Or just, share us out on Facebook or something if you really want to be that boring. But we'll accept that. So until then, we'll see you all tomorrow.
Remember, fellow babies, roadkill cheese is an illegal item, so don't get caught. Take it easy, everybody. Good night.
Stay shitty.